Alright guys, it's been a while since I made a video. I'm back here working on my 86 Iroc. Today we're doing some wet sanding and buffing. It's a little loud in here in the garage, but pretty much, wet sanding. I'm working with the 1500 grit sandpaper. You got a block in the middle of this, a bucket of hot water, and you simply just take this block and you rub it over the car like this. Okay, and you rub. I'll do it in small sections. And I'll take a squeegee, dip it in my bucket, and then I just squeegee off the car, okay? Now what you're looking for, you want this small area here to dry, okay? If you start seeing little bubbles, like little white patches come up in the paint, then you know you need to hit that area again. Now I've pretty much got this area done pretty good. When you get a real dull finish on it, that's when you know it's about time to stop wet sanding. But you'll still, if you start seeing little bubbles, little white bubbles, that tells you that you need to go back over the area again. Like you can see right here, you see these little bubbles that are coming up, these little spots. That's telling me that I need to wet sand the area again and squeegee it. You can see another area right in here, okay? So wet sanding and buffing, it's gonna take me probably a week to get this entire car done. After I'm done wet sanding, we're gonna go back over it and buff it out real good. We already did the door. You can kind of see how beautiful that the top part of the door up here is shining. Already did all that. So wet sanding and buffing, I started with 1500 grit. When you get down in here on these little lips, you don't want to use the block. You just want to use sandpaper, just regular sandpaper, and you want to push it in there. So I got done wet sanding this quarter panel. You can see it's going to leave this really dull looking nasty finish all over it, and that's a good thing, because what you do after you let it dry, if you see any shiny spots, like I had a shiny spot that was right here that I went back and re-wet sanded. I got an itty bitty tiny shiny spot right here. So if you see any shiny spots, that's the spots that you didn't hit good enough with the sandpaper and you need to go back over again. So you can kind of see we've got the quarter panel here all wet sanded. We're getting ready to go over it next and start buffing it. So once you do this, just once it gets a real dull finish to it, that's when you know you need to stop. You can kind of see right here, I probably need to hit this right here again a little bit before we start buffing, because that right there, you don't want shiny spots, you want it looking dull. So I may hit this area right here one more time, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we get done buffing. Alright guys, we got the wet sanding and buffing done on this side. As you can see, it turned out beautiful. Now we still gotta go back and fine tune some things, like we're gonna take these door handles off and get down in there real good, but you can see from a moment ago of how awful it looked to just how beautiful this turned out.